Okay. Oh. Get started learning with Python. Get started learning Python with DataCamp's free Intro to Python tutorial. That's why I want some interactive coding challenges. Ready to take the test? Okay. Python is a very simple language and has a very straightforward syntax. It encourages programmers to program with boilerplate prepared code. The simplest detective in Python is the print detective. It simply prints out a line and also includes a new line, unlike in C. There are two major Python versions, Python 2 and Python 3. Python 2 and Python 3 are quite different. This tutorial uses Python 3 because it's more semantically correct and supports newer features. For example, one difference between Python 2 and 3 is the print statement. In Python 2, the print statement is not a function, and therefore it is invoked without parentheses. Let me turn this down a little bit. In Python 2, the print statement is a function, must be invoked with input. To print a string in Python 3, just write print indentation. Python uses indentation for blocks instead of curly braces. Both tabs and spaces are supported, but the standard indentation requires standard Python code to use 4 spaces, for example. Okay. Python uses indentations for blocks instead of curly braces. Both tabs and spaces are supported, but the standard indentation requires standard Python code to use 4 spaces, for example. You know what? Let's turn this up. Let's turn this down for me. That's better. The standard indentation requires to use 4 spaces, for example. X is equal to 1. So if X is equal to 1, X is identified or indented 4 spaces. I get that. Use the print function to print hello world. Oh my god, I need to work on my shit. POL while scanning. I'll scan a string literal. I see what I did. I thought I hit enter as in run. There we go. The site is generously supported by DataCamp. DataCamp offers online interactive Python tutorials for data science. Join over 1 million blah, blah. Alright, next tutorial. Python is completely object-oriented and not statically typed. You do not need to declare variables before using them or declare their type. Every variable in Python is an object. Python supports 2 types of numbers, integers and floating points. It also supports complex numbers, which will not be explained in this tutorial. To define an integer, use the following syntax. My integer is equal to 7, print my integer, and that should be 7. Alright, to define a floating point number, you may use one of the following notations. My float, print my float is equal to Strings are defined either with single quote or double quotes. That's the same thing, yeah. The difference between the two is that using double quotes makes it easy to include apostrophes, whereas these would terminate the string if using single quotes. Gotcha. There are additional variations on defining strings that make it easier to include things such as carriage returns, backslashes, and Unicode characters. These are beyond the scope of this tutorial, but they are covered in Python documentation. Simple operators can be executed to numbers and strings. 1 equals 2, 2 equals 2. 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2, 3 equals 1 plus 2. Print 3, which is 1 plus 2. Hello equals hello. Hello world equals hello plus realm. So 3, hello world. So 3, yep, and then hello world. Assignments can be done on more than one variable simultaneously on the same line like this. A, B equals 3, 4. So 3 and 4. Okay. That makes sense. Mixing operators between numbers and strings is not supported. This will not work. 1 equals 1. 2 equals 2. 1 plus 2 plus 1. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So neither of those work. Alright. The target of this exercise is to create a string, an integer, and a floating point number. The string should be named myString, and it should contain the word hello. The floating point number should be named myFloat and should contain the number 10.0. And the integer should be myInt and should contain the word 20. And contain the number 20. Okay. So myString is equal to my integer should be 20, yes. And then my string equals hello. Don't forget to change my float to correct value from the exercise. Is it just 10? And it'll bring the floating number should be named myFloat and should contain the number 10.0. Okay. Hello. If my string equals hello, print string. If insistence myFloat float and myFloat is equal to print float. I don't really get that one, but okay. Float. Okay, I get it. This should be it, right? Did I spell float? Float is equal to 7. Oh, so is there no? Okay, so for these, there's none. So for numbers, we're not using those. Okay, I see. Gotcha. Okay, I get that. Lists are very similar to arrays. They can contain any type of variable. And they can contain as many variables as you wish. Lists can also be iterated over a very simple matter. Here's an example of how to build a list. My list. Brackets. I forget what these are called. Curly brackets? My list dot append. Missing an index, which does not generate an exception. But my list is In this exercise, you will need to add numbers and strings to the correct list using the append list method. You must add the numbers 1, 2, 3 to the numbers list and the words hello and world to the strings variable. You will also have to fill in this variable second name with the second name in the names list using the brackets operator. Alright, so numbers. Alright, so 1, 2, and 3. Strings. The plus plus. I don't know. Alright, you'll also have to fill in. Alright, so in this exercise, you will need to add numbers using the append. Later. You will also have to fill in the variable second name with the second name in the names list using the bracket operator. So if you want to access the second item, the index will be 1. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure. Let me see what the solution is. Okay, I get it. So let's refresh that. I think I get it. Alright, so and strings. Okay. Okay. Alright, so append. This should be strings. Let's Alright, okay. Did you fill in the variable second name with the second name in the names list? Derek? That is one. Alright. Okay, so that's where I fucked up. Easy enough. Stop listening to music. I feel like I cannot concentrate. Raise the make off what it does. Okay. Can be used with numbers 1 plus 2 times 3 divided by 4.0. Okay. So that would be 1 plus 2, 3 times 3, 9 divided by 4, 2. Yep. Another operator available is the modulo operator, which returns the integer remainder of the dividend. divisor remainder. 11 divided by 3. It's like 3.3. This is the modulo, which returns the integer. Okay, so let's do... Okay, that makes sense. So if it's 11 divided by 2, and that would be 1 left. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. All right, using two multiplication symbols, make a power relationship. Okay, so squared. Okay, I get that. So it's 7 times 7, 49. 2 times 2 times 2. Gotcha, power relationship. Okay, I get that one. Using operators with strings. Python supports concatenating strings. I forget what this word means. Linked together in a chain or series. Okay. Hello world equals hello plus world. What does this mean? Oh, it's a space, right? That makes sense. Python also supports multiplying strings to form a string with a repeating sequence. So it's hello times 10. Hello 10 times. Okay. Lists can be joined with the addition operators. Even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. Odd numbers, all numbers equals even plus odd numbers. So with that, yeah, I wouldn't put them in sequence though, right? So it did odd and then even. Okay. Just as in strings, Python supports forming new lists with a repeating sequence using the multiplication operator. I get this one, but is it each one times 3? So it'd be 3, 6, 9, right? Is that what it would be? Let's see, that'd be what it would be, right? Oh, so it's just a repetitive thing. So it's just doing this 3 times. Gotcha. The target of this exercise is to create 2 lists called xlist and ylist, which contain 10 instances of the variables x and y, respectively. We're also required to create a list called biglist, which contains the variables x and y 10 times by concatenating the 2 lists that you have created. Okay, the target is xlist, ylist. 10 variables. 10 instances of the variables of x and y. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure. Did you correctly define the variable xlist? Contain 10 instances. Okay. Yeah, so I get that. Right. You're also required to create a list called big list, which contains the variable by concatenating. Alright, big list is equal to. Would I do it like, or would it just be x plus y? To be honest, I'm not too sure. I don't think that's right either. Oh, right. So that makes sense. I didn't get that one right at all. I don't know why. That's pretty damn straightforward. Python uses C-string to create new formatted strings. The modulo operator is used to format a set of variables enclosed in a tuple, a fixed size list, together with a format string, which contains normal text together with argument specifiers, special symbols like modulo s. Okay. Let's say you have a variable called name with your username in it, and you would like to print out, and you would then like to print name is equal to John. Yeah, I don't really get what that is. If two or more specifiers use tuple, is all right. So years old. So why? John is 23 years old. Okay. An object which is not a string can be formatted using a string which returns from the repr method. That object is formatted as a string, for example. My list 123 print a list. Yeah, so it prints this. Here are some basic argument specifiers you should know. String. Okay, or any object. Okay, so integers. Gotcha. Floating point numbers. You'll need to write a format string which prints out the data using the following syntax. So, hello, John Doe. Your current balance is 53.44. Right, John Doe 53.44. So, hello. Your current balance is How? Hello, John Doe. Yeah, because that is the string. Yep. Okay, so this is just your current balances, and that would be string because this is a string-like presentation. Okay, so right, I get that. Definitely getting hard. I'm gonna make a little bit of food. Mm. Mm. Okay, so strings are bits of text. They can be defined as anything between quotes. Yep. As you can see, the first thing you learned was printing. The sentence was stored by Python as a string. However, instead of immediately printing strings out, we will explore various things you can do to them. You can also use simple quotes to assign a string. However, you will face problems if the value to be assigned itself contains single quotes. For example, to assign the string in these brackets, single quotes are you will only be able to use double quotes like this. All right. Where does the 12 come in? Single quotes are, yeah, len. What is len? Until 12 because hello world is 12 characters long. length. Okay. Turns out 4 because of the location of the first occurrence of the letter. Oh yeah, because the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Notice how there are actually two O's. The method only recognizes the first. But why didn't it print out the fifth? Oh, 5. Isn't the O the fifth character in the string to make things more simple? That I knew. Oh, that's a lowercase l, not a number 1. I thought it was number 1 straight up. Therefore, it should print 3. That makes sense. Well, it should print out the third and the 7th index numbers, which would be L, 4, 5, 6, 7, L and L. Alright, so it prints out everything between 3 and 7. This prints out a slice of the string starting at the index 3, and then at index 6. But why is 6 and not 7? Again, most programming languages do this. It makes doing math inside those brackets easier. If you have one number in the brackets, it will give you a single character at that index. If you leave out the first number but keep the colon, it will give you a slice from the start to the number until you left it. You can even put negative numbers. They're a way to, instead of getting those ways. Third from the end. Okay. So, low world, right? Well, what does the 2 mean? Or is it the second character in this? So it would be 0, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2. Oh, good. This prints the characters from 3 to 7 with to skipping one character. Start, stop, step. Okay. Note that both of them produce the same output. There is no function like strev in C to reverse a string, but with the above mentioned type of slice syntax, you can easily reverse a string like this. So it just spells in reverse. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. A string split. Those are just spaces. That makes sense. In your eye. Oh, this was kind of good. Okay. Will be hello. Alright, so S equals. Hey there, should this. I'm good. One, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so there should be two A's. What? Number of A's should be 2. Right? Slicing the string into bits. The first 5 characters are. Alright, so if it's gotta be 20 letters, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can just change this, right? Wait, the first occurrence of the letter. Where did it get strings are awesome? Was I supposed to guess that? But that is absolutely right because it changes everything. I don't know where I would have gotten. I get it though. Look, I totally get that. Alright. The Boolean values, true and false, are returned when the expression is compared to our value. For example, x is equal to 2. Print x is equal to 2. That's false. And then that's true because it is less than 3. The and or Boolean operators while building complex Boolean expressions. For example, name equals to John, age is 23. If name is equal to John and age is 23, print if name is equal to John or Rick. The in operator could be used to check if a specified object exists within an iterable object container such as a list. If name in Python uses indentation to define blocks instead of brackets. The standard Python indentation is 4 spaces, although tabs and other space size will work as long as it's consistent. Notice the code blocks do not need any termination. Here's an example for using Python's if statement using code blocks. If statement is true, which it's not, if, and then elif, what is elif? X is equal to 2. If x is equal to 2, unless I switch this to 4, in which case it'll do the other. Right. Like the double equals operator, the is operator does not match the value of the variables. For example, x equals using not before a inverts it. Print not false. Change the variables in the first section so that each if statement resolves as true. If number is equal to 10, if 10 is less than if 10 is less than 15, or it's if 10 is not greater than 15, print 1. First array I guess it would be like 16, 19. Do that. Second array. If the length of the second array is equal to 2, if the length of the first array, the length of the second array is equal to 5. 4, right? If the first array and first array's the index is equal to right? If not, did you print out 5 first? Alright, yeah, so what did I put? I had 16, I thought. So, come on, right. First array. If first array. What is if first array? Print 2. If length first array, which is 3. I print 4. If first array and first array is 0, or index 0 is equal to 1. Gotcha. Okay, I see what I did wrong. The second number. Yeah, I think I got that. These are still so much.